Holy shit! In a time where the attitude of animation is a tug of war between idiots who think animation is just for kids and people with brains who think animation is and can be for everyone, it's nice to see that there are studios out there who are willing to take risks and strive to make films that can be timeless years from now. DreamWorks has proven time and again that they are the king of sequels. Shrek 2, Kung Fu Panda 2, How to Train Your Dragon 2, and now, brothers and sisters, I am ecstatic to say that Puss in Boots The Last Wish is fucking phenomenal and a more than worthy addition to DreamWorks' library. It is so damn good. And it is shaping up to possibly be my favourite film from the studio so far. I'm not joking. Every single aspect of this film blows the first one out of the water. The story, the writing, the characters, the animation, the fight scenes, the music, the voice acting, the art direction, everything is just fantastic throughout. In case you didn't read the spoiler warning in the beginning, there will be spoilers in this film review. Partly because Americans have already had this film for over a month, and partly because there are some things that I just need to talk about. So if you don't want spoilers, I thank you for watching the video, but I implore you to go and watch the film and come back if you're so inclined. I'll give you 3 seconds. This has to be one of the best fucking writing jobs in a film. Not a single scene loses my interest in the slightest. And aside from the cleverly crafted plot, you can thank the amazing writing. I've never seen a film have so many different plot lines that weave together flawlessly to make an ending as satisfying as this. It got me to damn near tear up, and I know Pinocchio managed to actually do it, but there's something so nice about this movie. There really is. It's just so clear that the people working on this film cared about what they were making, and they had a great time making it. From the first scene, it's super evident. You really get the feeling that they poured their heart and soul into the film, and the result is cinema, pure and simple. And nowhere is that more evident than the character writing. Remember when I said that Puss was kind of a static character who didn't get much development in the first film? Well, I'm glad to say it's a complete 180 here. Puss's development and characterization throughout the film is top tier. I love it. He's such a badass when he needs to be, which creates a stark contrast to the moments where shit hits the fan and he finds himself scared. Most often when in the presence of a certain character, but we'll get to him in a moment. Same goes for Kitty Softpaws. She didn't have much in terms of development in the first film, and while she doesn't get as much development as Puss evidently, her story in this film is really heartwarming and definitely better than the first. Also, can I just say Perito is an absolute son? I wasn't that much of a fan of him from the trailers. He seemed like he wouldn't really have a bearing on the plot and would just be there for comedy. But no, he's one of the best additions to the franchise, and I'm really happy I was proven wrong about him. He is the bestest of boys. This movie has one of the best casts of antagonists I've seen in a film. They're all charming and threatening when they need to be. I've been waiting to see the Shrek universe's take on Goldilocks and the Three Bears in more detail, and to my delight, they're great in this movie. Making them British was one of the best choices in the film. Absolute comedy gold, no pun intended. I could kind of tell that they weren't really the villains from the way they spoke to each other, and honestly, I think that was for the best, because the resolution of their story arc was one of my favourites. I mean, it really got me in the heart, which I didn't expect at all. If sympathetic villains aren't your thing though, don't worry, Jack Horner's got you covered. I guess DreamWorks has caught on to audiences nowadays being tired of villains that aren't just dickheads for the sake of it. And they really lean into this with Jack, which I absolutely love. This guy is hilarious. And it's nice to have someone to root against in a movie without feeling any guilt about it. I also didn't expect to see the DreamWorks equivalent of the cricket, but it was a nice surprise. However, we can't talk about the villains in this movie without mentioning the wolf in the room, Death, who in terms of just being a badass is one of my favourite DreamWorks villains so far. Every single time you hear that whistle, you get chills alongside Puss. He absolutely dominates every frame he's in, and it helps that I don't think they could have picked a better voice actor for the guy. Every line is delivered perfectly.
I just love the smell of fear.
He can easily control the vibe of a scene, and when he shows up, you know shit's about to get real. The cave scene itself is worthy of an Oscar for dialogue alone. And just so you know, this guy has like 10 minutes of screen time. The fact that he's made this much noise with such little time is telling of just how amazing the character is. The final fight with Death also, and Puss coming to his resolve, is one of the coldest fucking scenes in cinema.
What's the matter? Lives flashing before your eyes?
No, just one.
Chills every time. Overall, I think the review speaks for itself. This movie is fantastic. I implore you to go watch it whenever you get the chance. And if you already have, tell others about it. It deserves it. I didn't think it would happen this early, but Puss in Boots: The Last Wish overtakes Pinocchio as first place. A stunning film filled with amazing writing, direction, and overall care given from the team at DreamWorks. I am more than happy to see what they have in store next.